Good day everyone, this is Uglo Fashion and you are welcome to my channel. So today we'll be learning how to make this balloon sleeve. So if you enjoyed the tutorial, if you gain anything from this tutorial, please subscribe to my channel and like my video. And if you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section. Thank you.
So for this balloon sleeve, I will make use of this my paper for the sketch. Then I will, just for the first explanation, then I will do the remaining explanation on my fabric. So to start with, to cut the sleeve, I'm making use of the length of the sleeve I'm making use of is 13 inches. Then I'll add 1 inch for the folding. That's where the rubber is going to pass through, because I'm going to make use of half-inch rubber. So now the length I said is 13. Let me rule that 13 out. This is 13 inches. Then this for the folding, the 1 inch extra. And after that, I'll measure 5 inch. So that's the upper part of the sleeve, the bicep. So I'll measure that. I'm determining that on that 5 inches. So, and the circumference of the bicep here is 15 inches. Sorry, 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. I made a mistake by measuring 7. So it's 7.5. And I'll come down here. I'll still transfer the 7.5 here, which means I'm having a straight line here. And this is because of the style I'm cutting. I told you it's balloon sleeve. So here, from this peak, I'll measure 2 inches. You can do 2, you can do 2.5. So I'll rule the 2 inches. So from this point, I'm going to connect it to this line. But before I do that, this 7 inches, I'll transfer the 7 inches here. I'll be 7.5 rather. I'll transfer the 7.5 here. Then I will add another 1 inch to it. So I'll just connect this. Then I'll make this to have a curve shape here. This is just like cutting my normal sleeve, straight sleeve. So I'll cut this out. I'll cut this out, then notch the middle part. You know, I folded this into 2, so I will notch here. So now I'll take my fabric. This is the fabric I'm making use of. So it's folded into 2. I folded it already into 2. And I'm cutting 2 sleeves. So I want to cut the 2 at once. So I'm going this way. That's because I'm cutting it in the 2 at once. So if you are not cutting the 2 at once, you can just first cut this. That is, you first measure the 13 inches you want to make use of here. I mean the 14 inches rather, because I've added 1 to it. Then you cut this thing here, but I can still cut the 2 at once. So that's why I'm folding it this way. So I have 14 inches here. So I'll transfer my sketch, my paper, back to my fabric. You can see the folded part. I'm not making use of this folded side because the puff will not be much, and since so far this length is up to 14 inches, so I can make use of here. So I ensured they align here. So now it now depends on how big you want the balloon to be. So now I'm going to add, I want to make use of all these things, so all these parts. So I'm going to add, this is 14 inches. So I'm going to add like 14 inches to my normal sleeve measurements. So this depends on how wide, like I said earlier, you want it to be. So 14 plus it. So which means I'm making use of all this. Maybe I should just place it back here, then measure my 14 inches here since it's joined. Okay, I'm having 13 here now. Then I'll trace out the shape. So now I've traced this out. I'll trace this out as well. Then I will do my cutting. So ensure you leave enough space here for your puff, for the balloon. Now I'll notch the middle. Then the joint part here, you know this one is joined. I'm not opening that side. That's where I notch. That's where it's going to be connected to the shoulder. So I will now open up this down part because I cut the two together. That's why I'm having this folding at the down part. Then I told you I'm going to fold in 1 inch, so I will notch the 1 inch. That's where I'm going to fix in my rubber. Now after cutting, I cut the lining as well. We have the same measurement, the same shape. So now this is the 1 inch I notch for the rubber. The first thing I will do now is to stitch the side. This is the right side of my fabric, this is the wrong side. So I'm placing the lining on the right side of the fabric. So I'll stitch. So now I've stitched both sides together. Now I will turn it. So now after turning, I'll now stitch this side together. You know, this has been turned in already. So just to run stitch here, and I'll use iron to remove this paper after stitching, because if I remove it now, it will come to the mouth of my needle and it won't be able to sew well. Now, after stitching the down part, I'll run a stitch at the upper part as well, just to hold my lining down after stitching the side. So now after stitching the lining to the body, so now I'll now fold the edge, the 1 inch I left. So I will now fold it. You can see the way I turned it inside. So that's where the rubber is going to enter through. So after folding the down part, now to fix in my rubber. So I'm measuring 10 inches for the rubber. Depends on how big the sleeve is. So I'm cutting two of this. I'm cutting two of this. That's for both sleeve. Then I'll use my pin to fix it inside. So after fixing my rubber, see, so now I use my affix pin to secure it down so it doesn't run back inside. Now I want to stitch the side
I'll stitch both sides together. So now I've removed the affix pin I used to secure the rubber. I've stitched both sides together. So this is what I get at the end of the day. So what I will do now is I did is I notched the mid part of this. So I want to fix it to the sleeve of my gown. So now I will, this is the midpoint, then I will fix it with the shoulder. I'll pin it down. I'll pin both sides down. Then the armhole parts, I'll pin that side together as well. That is the joint part of my sleeve plus the armhole here. That's the part I'm pinning together. Then I start my stitches. So it's going to have, so now after stitching few inches, I will now start my pleats. Now this depends on how puffy you want it to be, how big. So now I'm just pleating it small. It's not up to, let's say, like half-inch pleats, you can see. So I'll leave few space. So I ensured that the first side ended where I pinned the middle together. So now I'm starting with the other side now. So now this is where I'm going to end the pleat here. So it remains only one. And please, for it to be equal, the pleat here started 5 inch after the armhole, 5 inches after the armhole. So ensure that this other side ended 5 inches after the armhole as well. So I'll just give it the remaining last pleat. That's where the 5 inches ended. And stitch together. So thank you very much for watching video. Please subscribe to my channel and like my video. Thank you.